Fun and quick automotive tech tips that you should know. So, what does a EGR delete mean? If you're new to diesels, you've probably heard this term but don't know exactly what it means. So, an EGR delete is an aftermarket performance part that is installed on the motor. This is done by removing the old EGR first. This kit is designed to prevent exhaust gases from being redirected back to the engine. The old EGR valve limits the motor's efficiency and rob engines of their performance, which is why customers want it removed. So an EGR delete is an aftermarket performance part, and that allows the vehicle to function as if it never had an EGR valve. So what does the EGR do? EGR stands for exhaust gas recirculation. What the engine manufacturers attempted to accomplish here was to lower the NOx emissions. NOx is a generic term for the nitrogen oxides that are most relevant for air pollution, namely nitric oxide and nitrogen dioxide. These gases contribute to the formation of smog and acid rain being expelled out of the exhaust pipe, ultimately damaging the ozone. The way the EGR works is, it redirects exhaust gases back into the intake of the engine to help lower the combustion temperature, and because of this action, the result is a much lower emissions output. So an EGR delete is an aftermarket performance part that is installed on the motor and prevents exhaust from being redirected back to the engine. Ultimately, by installing this kit, it allows your vehicle to function as if it never had an EGR valve. There are a number of key differences the customer will notice after having an EGR delete kit installed. First of all, the engine will not have more power. As I already mentioned, the EGR valve limits efficiency and robs engines of its performance. This leads into the next point, which is increased fuel efficiency. Your engine now has to work less hard to deliver the same amount of power while burning less fuel in the process. Finally, the engine is going to have a longer lifespan. The soot that is deposited within the engine, it ends up putting undue stress on the system and causes parts to wear out faster. Without engine tuning, deleting an EGR by itself or disabling your EGR is unlikely to add horsepower because it only provides a slight change to the air contents of your engine's combustion chambers. While EGR deletes do provide a purer air-fuel ratio, the difference is minor in terms of horsepower, and any gains will be very small. When a vehicle leaves the factory, it is an all-purpose vehicle. The manufacturer wants it to shift smoothly, offer good fuel efficiency, and offer a quiet ride. To get those results, the manufacturer sometimes sacrifices horsepower. To regain this loss, horsepower would require reprogramming the vehicle's module utilizing engine tuning. Some consumers try tackling this as a DIY project, and with the right research and understanding, it could be done, but I personally believe it should be left up to the professionals. There are many different types of tuners out there available to the consumer. Some tuners can add quite a bit of horsepower to the motor, which some customers will think is great, while others just slightly increase horsepower. Either way, this can be areas of concerns pertaining to performance and reliability without the proper knowledge. Your transmission's capability is a critical factor when considering engine tuning. If your transmission isn't designed to handle the extra horsepower, it's susceptible to encountering issues down the road, primarily due to the mechanical limitations inherent to the transmission itself. To ensure the reliability of an engine tune, proper transmission tuning and potential internal transmission upgrades become recommended. The factory calibration often leaves room for enhancement concerning power, torque transfer, and drivability. This means that while tuning the engine for additional horsepower can be advantageous, it must be executed correctly, and your transmission should be considered for upgrades to cope with the increased power demands. For those technically inclined pros, specialized transmission tuning using a laptop is an option. This allows for precise adjustments to settings like line pressure, shift timing, and lockup control. However, it's essential to understand that this process involves intricate science. If these parameters aren't meticulously configured correctly, the transmission's durability may be compromised, regardless of how well your engine performs. In essence, engine and transmission tuning, including EGR deletes, have their roles in the realm of performance upgrades. Approaching these modifications requires a good understanding of their technical aspects in order to ensure that the entire drivetrain, including the transmission, can handle the changes or updates. In summary, a EGR delete involves the alteration of emissions components. While it can offer some performance benefits if done correctly, especially in off-road or racing scenarios, but often EGR deletes are accompanied by a tuner modification of some type and are coming into repair shops that are already modified. As a repair shop or owner of the vehicle, it's essential to understand the technical aspects, implications, and legal considerations before proceeding with such modifications or repairs, as the desired results may not be achievable without added cost. So, there you have it. The story of EGR delete kits and their impact on your engine's performance and longevity. It's all about unlocking your engine's true potential while keeping it running smoothly for the long haul. As always, I hope you found this helpful, and if you like this technical bulletin video and would like to see more, please let me know and I'll catch you on the next one.